Pika bee, Pikachu, Pika Pika, Pika, Pika Pika, Pika Pika, Pikachu.
Can you believe it's been 20 years since the birth of Pokemon? Well, it's been 20 years since the birth of me, so I guess some accomplishments aren't that spectacular. But it's amazing to look back and see how far Pokemon has come. There have been a ton of Pokemon games consistently produced throughout these years, including those random spin-off games that many fans don't expect. And those games can be extremely well made sometimes. Personally, I've enjoyed a few of those games way more than the main line of Pokemon games, and with the upcoming releases of Pokken and Detective Pikachu, it made me think about all those wacky spin-off titles that I love so much. Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Convinced. It's finally time for me to dive into a few Pokemon games that I feel go underappreciated. Except Hey You Pikachu. Fuck that game. Fuck you, Pikachu.
Pika Pika.
But with that, here's why you should play some of these Pokemon spin-off titles. First off, let's talk about Pokemon TCG for the Game Boy Color.
Okay, this one is kind of cheating because you could technically just play the card game using actual cards, but the way it was implemented into a Game Boy Color game made it so addicting. It's not exactly hard to develop a video game off of a card game. It's been done numerous times, just look at Yu-Gi-Oh! But it is harder to make that game more appealing than what it's already based off of, and that's what this game did. Pokemon Trading Card Game was released in North America in April 10th, 2000 and was developed by Hudson Soft. The game's plot is very similar to the plot of the main line of Pokemon games. You start off in a lab and you're given a choice of 3 decks. You pick your deck and start on your journey to becoming the world's best Pokemon TCG player by defeating the multiple club masters scattered across the world.
The game utilizes its plot perfectly. It's not just a TCG simulator.
You can collect so many cards that you can build decks with or just trade with your friends, slowly developing this ultimate challenge to craft the most perfect and effective deck. It becomes remarkably in-depth very quickly, and you won't even realize it because the game is so easy and friendly. And although I say that, the game isn't quite easy to just pick up and play if you're new to the Pokemon TCG. It was really complex for a kid's game, but that challenge is what pushes you to keep playing. You'll get so caught up in making decks, trying to conjure up ideas of how to counter certain types or strategies, it certainly tests your mental capabilities to the fullest. The soundtrack is also a superb part of the game. The music instills that feeling of excitement and joy when you listen to it, and it's very pleasant to the ears.
Overall, Pokemon TCG is a fantastic and challenging game that only rewards you more as you progress through the game. It's definitely a must-try in my opinion.
And you get to open packs. That shit smells so good. Yeah.
Next up, we have Pokemon Puzzle League for the Nintendo 64. It's Tetris Attack with Pokemon. On the Nintendo 64.
Pokemon Puzzle League was released in North America on September 25th, 2000 and was developed by Intelligent Systems. While on the surface this game looks like a ripoff of Tetris Attack, which it basically is, Pokemon Puzzle League took a great game and made it better. The game's plot revolves around the anime where Ash is invited to the Puzzle League tournament, which is where the best trainers are put to the test to become the puzzle master.
This next part of the video is when you're doing push-ups or you're doing sit-ups, whatever, let's get it. Another one. Another one. Another one.
If you've never played Tetris Attack, the premise is basically that you have to line up 3 blocks of the same color, but only doing so by moving them vertically.
It sounds easy, but it gets extremely difficult at higher levels, forcing the player to think faster, figuratively putting the player to the test.
In Puzzle League, you have 6 different types of game modes that you can choose from: 1-player stadium, 2-player stadium, marathon, time zone, spa service, and puzzle university. They're all just Tetris with different restrictions and gameplay mechanics, but the addition of the Pokemon brand makes the game really vibrant. The implementation of gym leaders and type strategies makes for interesting gameplay, while the presentation grabs your attention and absorbs you into the game so quickly. Pokemon Puzzle League is a great time killer where you can either try to collect all of the badges, beat the high scores, or break the fastest clear times.
I know it's just Tetris Attack with the Pokemon brand slapped right on top of it, but it's definitely my go-to puzzle game when I feel like playing those kind of games. I swear there's only one song in the fucking game though. Lastly is a game that is so good that I almost made a separate video about it. and it's Pokémon Conquest for the Nintendo DS.
Pokémon Conquest was released in North America on June 18th, 2012, and was developed by Tecmo Koei. This game is a crossover between Pokémon and Nobunaga's Ambition, which for those of you who don't know is a turn-based strategy RPG. Think of it like Fire Emblem in a way. The plot follows the player, the Warlord of the Aurora, on their journey to restoring peace to the Ronsei region by bringing each region together and stopping the antagonist Nobunaga from destroying the region.
The blending of the two genres is just perfect. I'm kind of confused as to why the game hadn't been released earlier.
The way the game works is that the player controls different Pokemon placed in the format of a turn-based tactical RPG, where each Pokemon have unique attacks and movement options. The player must defeat their opponent using these Pokemon who also have access to powers that boost their abilities, all ranging from things like attack and defense boosts, invincibility, etc. You can even capture your opponent's Pokemon once you defeat them with a minigame where you have to press buttons in certain timings. The game acts very much like a regular Pokemon game, but with the added mix of turn-based RPG elements, it turns into a very addicting game.
It offers a new and refreshing way to play Pokemon while having a deep story and intuitive gameplay.
Conquest looks extremely pretty too. The art design is so colorful and reflects the Sengoku theme very well. Most of the characters in the game are based off of historical figures from the 15 and 1600s. There's also so much to do in this game. It's filled with content and offers tons of replayability, all while keeping the rewarding and challenging aspects alive.
Although I did skim over some details about the game that may or may not actually get you to play it, I definitely think this one out of the three should be the one that you should try. There are a ton of other great Pokemon spin-off titles out there, but I didn't feel the need to talk about them since so many people have already heard enough about them already. I rarely hear anything about these games when it comes to talking about Pokemon, so I thought I'd just share my opinions on why you should try out these specific games. Pokemon is a marvelous franchise that I've grown up with for most of my life. It's given me a lot of moments and memories that I've been able to share with friends and family, and I can only hope that Pokemon is able to continue to succeed for another 20 years. They keep consistently putting out these great games, and I can only hope they continue doing so. Hey Pikachu, what's your favorite Pokemon game?
Pikachu, Pika Pika.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching as always. If you can, leave a like, subscribe, all of that stuff. Basically, this video, in short, was just something I needed to get out really quickly. I planned on doing it in January, but school picked up and I really didn't have time to do anything with it, so unfortunately, it's not the best it could be, but I just needed to get something out there, and this was the only thing I was working on at the time, so hopefully you liked it. Let me know what you guys want to see more of, because that's what matters the most, I guess. But new project coming hopefully at the end of this month. I do have a break coming up soon, so that should be good. But other than that, I'm gonna head out. I'm gonna keep this short. As always, check out these videos. I don't know what I'm gonna put up, but yeah, I'll see you